understanding how all of the technology works. So, you know, we have to get to 100,000 subscribers. There are people who understand that it's Terry, and that unless we get to executive power, nothing's going to change. Absolutely nothing is going to change. So we have to get to 100,000 subs. And so that means what's going to be necessary is we have to recruit people to this mission. We have to recruit more people to DeleteLawZ. It has to happen. And if we don't, then we will not get time. As you know, history is replete with circular patterns. And so what that means is that history always repeats itself. History always continually repeats itself. So we have to get to 100,000 subscribers because we have
Head south on La Paz Drive toward Midway Street.
We have a very limited window for...
In 500 feet, turn right onto Molino Drive.
We have a very limited window
turn right onto
for
Molino
change.
Drive.
We really do. And so we have to get to 100,000 subscribers. That means I need you to recruit people. You know, for a long time, and just so you guys know, when I originally started this mission, I had the idea that I would recruit black leaders. I really did. I had this idea because the laws that I know were crafted against people of color, and I know that to be factual. I had this idea.
Head south on La Paz Drive toward Hughes Road.
I had this idea that I would recruit black leadership. And what I found very quickly was that...
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Pebble Beach Drive.
What I found very quickly was that... I hate this, man. I can't stand notifications. I hope I'm on Do Not Disturb. Maybe I should make sure I'm on Do Not Disturb just real quick. I'm going to pull off to the side right here. You guys are going to be blank for 1 second here, just for a second. I'm going to just make sure that I'm on Do Not. In the beginning, when I started this that the laws in our country were crafted against people of color or for man capital, for DuPont, for William Randolph Hearst, for Andrew Mellon, for Harry Anslinger's estate, which he will die with $19 million in 1975. And I had this idea that I would recruit black leadership, and it was an abysmal failure. It really was, because number one, there are very few Crumps in this world, very few. And Crump has his name on the George Floyd Accountability Bill, and there's some good things in there, but a lot of that's window dressing. It really is. I've read it. So we have to get to 100,000 subs because we have to get into executive power. And what I didn't consider is that I am Colombian. I look white, I talk white, but I'm Colombian. And I'm not trying to turn off my white viewers, but what I'm trying to explain, and
1,000 feet, turn right.
You guys know what a staunch conservative I am when it comes to the Second Amendment, when it comes to the Bill of Rights, when it comes to freedom. And what I've learned over time, how you guys doing? Hit the number 1 button. Let me know where you guys are watching from so I can read this back later and just see where everybody was from. I just want to know where everybody was from so I can kind of have a barometer for who's in the room. And so we have to get to 100,000 subscribers on this channel. And then we got to get to 200,000, and then we got to get to 300,000, and then we got to get to 1 million, because we have to get executive power to change this BS system. And I'll tell you what, listening to that debate back last night, I couldn't listen to it all because I had to get to sleep, and I was trying to get the Overturn Terry. I'd already posted Overturn Terry, but I wanted to get it out so that people coming over from Team Skeptic would understand.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto 7th Street.
That people coming over from Team Skeptic tank. I don't want to call Septic, God bless it. I don't want to call Team Skeptic negative names, because I thought that even though we fundamentally disagreed, I thought that Skeptic really stayed within the lines. Now, he had to back the bootlickers and all those things, but the truth is, I thought Team Skeptic, the gentleman who goes by Skeptic, I thought he did a nice job as far as coloring within the lines, having a back and forth. He didn't answer any of the questions, but look, when you're in a debate, you're supposed to try to put your point out there. You hear politicians, they'll say, so, you know, is it going to rain tomorrow? And they'll go, the dogs are great. You're like, I'm asking you about the rain. The dogs are amazing. And that's what they'll do. So we got to get to 100,000 subs. We have to, because
use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto 7th Street.
There are very few people in this world who understand the history and the case precedent that has created this outright police state, prison state. How you guys doing? Thanks. I apologize. I didn't Recognized some of you guys right away. I wanted to say hello to everybody. How are you guys? Thanks for coming over as I go to the police department here. So in case I go to jail, somebody can call a friend of mine or my mama.
Continue for half a mile.
So that I can get bailed out of jail, because I don't want to be sitting in jail. Today's Monday, so I should be able to get out by tomorrow, and considering that I don't have a criminal record. And there's another thing I want to talk about. As we go down this road, and I've openly said that I'm going to be running for governor, what's going to happen is people are going to create, fabricate, tell stories about me. It's just ridiculous. A friend of mine today sent me a bunch of data that some person was saying about me, and I looked at it, and it was all fake. The whole thing was fake. The whole thing. And I was like, dude, this is all fake. This is all fake. None of this is true. And so I want you guys to understand, I've already been down this road before. I've already been defamed. That's why I'm suing some people. Because I want other people to know that if you defame me, I'll sue you. And I love going to court. A friend of mine named Joe is sending me over a procedural law course. It's going to take about 3 weeks to get done. And as soon as I finish that procedural law course, that's when things can truly get better for us when we go into court. That's the thing.
1,000 feet, turn right onto Amargosa Road.
So I'm almost to Victorville Police Department here. And we're going to see if they have a complaint form and if their lobby isn't locked. And we're going to see if they allow us to film. Allow us. Listen to the verbiage that even I say, because we've been programmed to believe that we have to ask for permission from public servants. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I'm just
right onto Amargosa Road.
I'm just as guilty as everybody else. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. Sometimes we get programmed so well that we say things that we don't really mean.
In 600 feet, turn left.
So I need you guys to recruit more people. We absolutely, positively have to get to 100,000 subscribers.
Turn left, then your destination will be on the left.
That's the goal. We have to get to 100,000 subs. Set the first goal, 100,000 subscribers. That's what has to happen. We have to get to 100,000 subscription. We have to get there. It's super important that we do it. Super, super important. We have to get more subscribers. We have to get more popular. We have to get more people to understand what the true problems are.
Turn north on Amargosa Road, then turn left.
Trying to figure out where to park here.
Turn left, then turn left.
Let me kill that map real quick. I'll be right back. Absolutely have to get. There it is. So we got to get to 100,000 subscribers. That's what has to happen. We have to get to 100,000 subs. And so it's just super imperative that we get there. I got to hold the phone down low here because you're not supposed to be on your phone and drive. And I got some pig over here, and I don't want to give him a reason to give me a ticket. Because every ticket we get, we have to fight tooth and nail. Filed the appeal for the Tempe ticket yesterday. X Factor. I want to give a shout out to X Factor and to Joe, two guys who are interesting, colorful personalities, and they were able to work together to get the appeal put together. And I've been on the phone with X Factor and Joe for maybe 4 hours over the past couple days as we ensure that we appeal that Tempe ticket and we try to get that commissioner, Elizabeth Olsen, try to get her removed from the bench or from a magistrate. I think she's called a commissioner. We have to get her removed. So that's the messaging I have for you guys today. 100,000 subs. And do me a favor, when you guys submit your videos, about can't get the body cam, make sure you put in the email the city, the state, and the police department that won't give you the body cam. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them all off. That's what I'm going to do. So if you guys send me an email and it says can't get the body cam footage, at 2 a.m. on this day, I'm like, okay, great. But what police department is it? Where was it? And what's the police agency? So I'm going to park right here and then head over to the PD here and see if they are tyrants here in Victorville or if they respect our First Amendment right to be press and to film. And that's what we'll be looking for here today. Oh, shot myself here. Oh, it's nice and breezy out here today. Let's see if I have a water back here that I can drink. My mouth's a little dry. It always gets, oh shoot, you know what I forgot? I forgot the gimbal. Gosh dang it. Hope my hands don't get the shakes here. But you never do know. You never do know. All right, got some water here. Okay. And now let's get fully locked and loaded here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's get fully locked and loaded. As far as your dress, I'm not saying locked and loaded as far as, I'm not threatening anybody here. I'm not saying locked and loaded in the terms of a weapon. I'm saying locked and loaded in the terms of make sure I have on all my clothing. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now I feel complete. You guys do me a favor, hit the like button if you would, please. There's a thumb down there below the screen. I appreciate that. Hit the like button, and we're going to walk over across the street. Put this in my pocket. A little bit of water in case I get thirsty as we go here. Not to mention my drinking problem. Drinking water, it's from the Jerk, in case you guys have never heard of that before. Okay, and so we proceed here. Let's see how Victorville, I think it's actually called the Victorville Sheriff's Department. I'm pretty sure. We shall see. Let's see how they do. Let's see how they do. And let's see if they act like tyrants or if they act respectful to the public who simply wants to film in the police department and make sure that these are our public rights. These are our civil rights, our civil liberties, actually. There's a difference between civil rights and civil liberties. I've talked about this on several occasions. I've talked about the difference between civil rights and civil liberties on several occasions. And so I'll talk about it again now. And the difference between a civil liberty and a civil right, the first 10 amendments are civil liberties. You're born with civil liberties. And what the civil liberties are inalienable rights given to you by God. Now, when you pass an amendment to create another level of protection or rights for the people, those are called civil rights. Because what that is in a democratic republic or a federal republic, what happens is you have minority classes of people who will not have their rights respected because there's not enough people to vote for them. So this is the police station here. Cool. Oh, this is the City of Victorville PD. So this is the sheriff here. There's no name on there. And then this is the captain right here. I'm the captain. As you guys remember that time I said to the guy, I thought you were the captain. And then I talked about that Tom Hanks movie. And then this is the deputy chief. So just so you can get good looks at their faces here. Let's see. Deputy chief here. And then sheriff is here. And then captain here. And captain right there. Cool, cool, cool. So now let's see. Oh, and then we have over here. So here's the mayor of Victorville. Look at that. Nice hair, babe. Looks good. And then Liz Barack, she's a council member. And then this is another council member. And then here's the mayor pro tem, Leslie Irving. So I think that means that. I wonder if they have a complaint form here. This is the, hey, do you have a complaint form?
A complaint form, yes.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Oh no, that's a big negative right there though. Ma'am, you have a flag there that's desecrated. I'm sorry to see that. It's a bummer. That's a bummer. That's a blue flag. How are you today, by the way? You doing okay?
Yes.
So, you know, the thing is that you know, I just want to let you know that right there, that flag right there, that's for a lot of citizens in America, that's a symbol of terror. That's an absolute symbol. I know it's yours.
Outside of our office, so yeah.
Right, but what that does put you on their team against us, and we're the citizens that you're supposed to protect and serve. You see? So, well, you're not though with that blue flag right there. What that means is that you're on a team that's not ours. And there we go. Sorry about that. So I just would like to talk about that a little bit. But the thing about Victorville Police Department is, or Victorville Sheriff's Department, they do have a complaint form that you can take with you, which is really a big thing. If you don't, hey, how you doing? Good to see you, sir. Nice to see you.
How are you?
I just came in and I'm just coming in to talk to you guys to make, what we do is we just go to different police departments around the country. Oh, I'm sorry, get your name and badge number, sir?
Sergeant Salisbury.
Sergeant Salisbury. So what we're doing is, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that when I came in here and I saw this blue flag right here, it's right there. What you guys don't understand is that for a lot of people in America, that blue flag is a symbol of terror.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So is there a way, do you guys all wear those flags, or is that?
No, I think that's just a personal.
Yeah.
The secretaries that work there.
Yeah.
They're on.
Does she know?
desk.
Does she know that?
I don't think she does, but I can talk to her if you would like.
I just want to put an end to it. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to create a better system between police and citizens.
Better relationship.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Yeah, of course. And so what I wanted to ask you is, if I put together, with the people who follow me, if I put together $10,000, you could get 10 officers to do a handcuff challenge with us?
What was that?
So a handcuff challenge is, handcuffs are torture. Just as soon as you put them on, they're torture. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, we've been in them.
Oh, so he knows it. How many times have you been put in handcuffs?
Through training, I can't tell you a
But
lot.
you've been put behind your back,
Uh-huh.
hard, tight for 10 or 15 minutes?
Yes.
Wow. So
Well, I can't say for 15 minutes, but yes.
for 10 minutes?
I'd say 5 to 10.
I like these smaller sheriff's departments because we're more likely to make progress. And when I was in the Arizona Highway Patrol, I tried to get them to do the 10-minute handcuff challenge, and it
Well,
was...
tell me about this challenge. I'm
So
real interested now.
I've put a few people, I put my cousin Tawny in handcuffs. I put a friend of mine, I didn't film that one, I put him in handcuffs. And then I've asked maybe a half a dozen officers like yourself, have you been put in handcuffs tight and hard for 10 minutes with your arms behind your back? Because what it shows is that handcuffs are absolute torture. And there's a better way to detain people,
Okay.
right?
Well, let me ask you this. Just objectively, what would be a better way to detain somebody?
Velcro straps.
Velcro straps? Okay.
One strap around the belt, one strap around the wrist, strap the hands to, this is what I'm showing him, put the hands to the wrist right here, and then once you're strapped up, dude, that's it.
Similar to mental
Right.
facilities. I've seen those on the
Right.
on the gurneys.
But the better way to detain someone is to put a body camera on them and then say, do you agree to be detained right here in this area? I agree to be detained in this area with you. And then what that does is it gives me the right as a citizen, I have a choice here. Either A, I can sit here and be detained, which we have to get rid of because of Terry versus Ohio. But then the second one is then you don't have dominion over me. You see?
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I think there's a lot of discussion on both sides. But yeah, but like I said,
You think, what do you mean? What kind of discussion?
as far as the Velcro handcuffs,
Velcro straps.
yes, there are positives and there are some negatives to that.
Sure.
And that'd be a long dialogue about it, because you got to think every situation's not the same, right?
Right.
Like we're just having a good conversation.
Yeah,
here, me
yeah,
and you.
yeah.
But some of the people we encounter aren't having a similar dialogue,
Right,
right?
right.
Some are aggressive, some are.
Some are
assaultive.
drunk and beating their wives, and
Right.
some are beating people
So
up,
that's what I'm
and
saying. There's a lot of variables.
they
but-
want to go out with a bang, and they want to fight a cop, right?
Right. So, but yeah, no, I like these discussions. It's good.
But I would like to raise $10,000 with the subscribers on the channel, and then I'd like to get 10 police officers, and I'd like to handcuff them tightly with their hands behind their back, and then stuff them in a car and put the seatbelt on them in a caged car and put the temperature about 82 or put it down to 50. And then the police start to understand that detainment's part of Terry versus Ohio. And the people who follow this channel, we're all about overturning Terry. Because Terry, if I break the law, then we need something to stop the law breaking, right? Especially violence. But I want to get it so that, do you guys wear body cams?
We don't. We're actually implementing a system. So our department's been doing some research on the best systems out there. One of the hurdles is the storage.
The
on
storage.
those, right. So, but I think within the next year, you're going to start seeing a lot of our deputies wearing them.
Really? See, now I'm for a third-party autonomous agency that gets all the body cam footage and all the dash cam footage. Would you be adverse to that, or would you be for that?
There's a two-way street on that, because there are some investigations, for example, a homicide investigation. Some of those details in the homicide investigation you hold near and dear. That information can't be released to the public, because if we arrest somebody for a homicide, they have to be judged by their peers.
Right.
Right. So some of the details, the specific details of the allegations,
Sure.
should come out in court.
Sure.
It shouldn't be in a public forum, and you're not giving the person that's being tried a fair trial in that essence. Right. So it's a two-way street.
Well, if we had a third-party agency that got the body cam footage, they would of course respect, the investigation. And I'm for rule of law. I'm all for rule of law. Like, I'm for the social contract. I'm for these guys having to follow the law, for you having to follow the law, for me having to follow the law. I'm for law and order, dude. Right?
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to create change within policing, because has it never been? I mean, how long have you been a cop for?
About 16 years.
So 16 years ago was a lot nicer being a cop than it is today. Am I incorrect about that?
There's been progression.
Right now, though, is it fun being a cop, or is it more difficult with the public being a
I
cop?
still enjoy being a cop.
You still enjoy it?
Huh?
But is it harder? Is it harder now because there's people like me who are going to film you guys, because there's no accountability in policing, so we go out and film you guys to try to get accountability, but it's just still not happening. And so that's why I'm trying to, instead of, look, I'm not that nice of a guy. I'm nice to people who are nice to me. But the point is that we have to create new changes in policing if we're ever going to have any kind of rational relationship. Because right now, when we see you on the street, especially with that blue stripe flag, we feel afraid and intimidated, and that if you decide right now to jump on top of me and start beating me up, I can't defend myself. Even if I could defend myself against a man of this size, right? Then what happens is I'm just going to get my butt kicked. And if I fight back in any way, if I even shrug my shoulder if you go to grab me, then that's resisting arrest.
Okay, but I would venture to say, yeah, we see some negative stuff on TV, on the media, but do you see the everyday interactions with the community? There's a lot of positive interactions with the community that people just don't see. Because what gets more clicks? Something that makes
Yeah.
law enforcement look bad, or
Sure.
just talking
Sure.
to kids in the streets and having conversation like me and you. We do that all the time. But
Yeah.
that never gets put out there.
Yeah, well, I do. I mean, I give fist bumps to cops all the time who are nice cops. I give fist bumps. The problem is that there's no third-party autonomous organization with subpoena power and arresting power. And so I'm trying to make it so that we start to chip away at the things we can change. Like, number one, you can't use attack dogs anymore. Number two, get rid of handcuffs, change out the handcuffs. Number three, get a third-party agency that has subpoena power, arresting power, and gets all the body cam footage and all the dash cam footage.
Okay.
And those three changes right there would change policing immediately.
Well, one, I can assure you, we don't have attack dogs on this department.
There's no canine units here?
We have tracking dogs for missing persons, and we have drug dogs.
Tracking dogs.
And bomb sniffing dogs.
But you don't have any dogs that attack
bite.
people?
That bite.
That bite. No dog bites at a Victorville Sheriff's
No, sir.
Department. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Thumbs up for Victorville Sheriff's Department so far. And so far, you've been a really nice guy, so I want to give you credit for that. But I still go back to the question, and I'll get your card. If we raise $10,000, could we do a handcuff challenge right here at Victorville Police Department?
That's above my pay grade, but I can ask.
Well, just so you know, it's pretty common. You kick the can to the, and there's like, how many captains are here? 7 captains, and then that captain decides, and that captain decides.
Just one captain here.
Who's the captain? Just this one here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. And how many officers do you have in this agency?
At this station, I think we're right around 100, 120.
And you got your public relations. Like, I asked for an officer, and you came right out. So I asked for a complaint form, and they had a complaint form ready to go for me. So Victorville Police Department so far, thumbs up, thumbs up. But now what I want to do is I want to get to the next step. And I have not had. I've heard 15 cops tell me that's above my pay grade. I can't do that. I want to get to the point where we can start this handcuff challenge. I mean, lots of people watch. Thousands and thousands, right?
Well, have you talked to our public
PIO?
information officers or PIOs?
No.
Because they do a lot of the social media outreach, groups like yours, I'm assuming, and other groups, and maybe you guys can collaborate with something, an idea together.
I just want to get it done. I want to get it because these handcuffs, if you watch the videos, like, everybody knows I don't like the blood on the wall videos. I mean, if I have to dress a cop down, I don't want to. I would rather talk about constitutional law and teach the theory of law. I mean, I'm really good at it. So, but we have to get to a place where you and I meet in the middle and we agree on what we're going to do to create fundamental change. Or you're still going to drive down the road and you're going to have people who flip you the bird and don't like you. And, you know, and listen, after Floyd, man, I dressed a couple cops down that I wish I'd handled that better, but I was upset and I didn't do it very well, you know. So, but I want to create a relationship. And every time I try to create a relationship, everybody knows it, nothing happens. It never goes anywhere. And I've asked, I mean, at least a half a dozen cops so far, can we please do a handcuff challenge?
Well, I would just start with our point of contact. Most likely for you is going to be our PIO. Because if you're into the social media and you have channels and
I'm not into social media.
Well,
I'm not very good at
you
it.
have a group though.
Yeah,
Because
I got a group.
They get messages out to people. And
Right.
like I said, if you want to get your group across or you have some ideas, I think that would be the point, like kind of the hub, instead of going station to station.
I go to every station I possibly can, and I came in and I filmed, and she was respectful and nice. I mean, so far you guys are one of the good ones. I mean, some places I have to knock on the window for 5 minutes because they see the camera and they're afraid. And the truth is that we're more afraid than you guys are. We're terrified because
Well, and that's something we can discuss, and through our PIO, we could probably get some sit downs maybe if you'd like. And
I want to raise 10 grand for the Boys and Girls Club of America. Instead of giving it to victims of police brutality or Back the Blue Foundation or whatever it is, let's give it to the Boys and Girls Club or Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, and let's actually do it. Let's follow through and get it done. You and me. Let's you and I get it done. And I'll be totally respectful and kind to you, and I'll treat you with the utmost respect, and then you and I get it done. And dude, you will have tens of thousands of people who will be like, yes, this guy actually wants to create change. And I did this with Geppert, didn't I? At the Arizona Highway Patrol. I did this with Geppert.
I want to make a police report.
And so, I don't want to listen to
No,
her.
I
I just want to give her a little privacy.
Someone that's invisible that can move things, that moves this.
Oh, shit.
Right here, and gives me
I
a
just
very
want to give her a little bit of privacy. And she just said that she has issues with people who are invisible.
we hear it all. So,
But
well, anyways.
Can we
so,
start it?
Like I said, I can't make that. I can't commit on behalf of my department. It would have to go through our PIOs.
Okay,
But I would call down there for you.
Yeah.
Maybe get you in contact with somebody.
I'll go.
Okay.
Say when.
So you know where our sheriff's headquarters is for the
No.
county? It's in San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
So how it works, I'm not sure if you're.
I don't.
So
Teach
we
me.
have a sheriff's
Educate me.
department, and we cover county areas throughout San Bernardino County, but we also have contract cities. Victorville is one of those contract cities.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other contract cities such as Rancho Cucamonga, Chino Hills, but the hubs in San Bernardino are our headquarters.
San Bernardino.
Yes.
So, can I go over there tomorrow?
Yeah, they're open.
Is there a
So-
PIO officer who will meet with me tomorrow?
I can call down and make sure there's one, or see if there's, let me see if there's one available first.
I'll go tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I've been dying to get this done. I want cops to understand handcuffs, and you said it. You said they're torture right away.
I don't think I said they're tortured. They're uncomfortable.
I got it on camera, but you're a nice guy so far. I don't want to create an adverse relationship. I want to build a relationship. But they're horrible.
Okay.
They are absolute torture the moment you put them on. And I train and I wrestle and I do all those things. My shoulders are not equipped to have my hands pinned behind my back. So I want to set this up, and I'm willing to stay in town another day or two if we can get it done. And then I will raise 10 grand and we'll give it to the Boys and Girls Club or Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
Okay.
And we'll even present it in the name of the Anthony Salisbury.
A Salisbury.
A Salisbury, City of Victorville. We'll present it to the Boys and Girls Club and to the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America from the Victorville Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
I don't need the credit for it. I just want I want cops to realize that handcuffs have to go. They have to go. They're terrible. They're horrific.
And like I said, we're not going to get into a big discussion.
No.
Like I said, there's pros and cons.
No one ever wants to get in a big discussion, by the way.
Right.
And there's no
But-
hypotheticals and there's no conversation. I don't want to get in the hypotheticals. I hear it from. I've been doing this for 6 months because I study the Constitution and Supreme Court cases. That's my big area of study for the past 20 years. And so I didn't want to audit police departments. I didn't want to audit libraries. I didn't want to do those things. Unfortunately, what we're seeing time and time again is that our First Amendment rights bastardized, not being respected. And we're seeing time and time again people getting arrested just for turning on their camera and filming. So
Well, let me ask you this. Are you national, local? How many agencies have you been to around this area?
I've been to Arizona Highway Patrol. I've been to how many different agencies have I been to? I've been to I went to the city capitol in Phoenix. I went to Goodyear Police Department. I don't know if I went to the actual police department. I just talked to a couple of Goodyear officers. I went to I'm gonna put together a whole compilation of all the cops I've asked to do a handcuff challenge.
Okay.
2 cops I met, really cool dudes on the side of the road, seemed really cool. And then when I said, let's do a handcuff challenge, they were like, no. And then I realized they thought I meant now, like on duty with a gun on your belt, let's put you in handcuffs for 10 minutes. And I was like, no, dude, I mean, like I really want to set this up. But so far you've been the most, has he not been the most open, the most willing to have a conversation, the most willing to come out and talk, wasn't afraid of the camera, didn't treat me disrespectfully in any way. So, but I keep on trying to align with somebody in policing where, look, it's hard to like cops. It's hard right now.
Well, I would encourage you, if you're going through all these other agencies.
No, I'm not going through any
Well,
agencies. I have zero traction.
No, you're contacting
Zero.
all these agencies. See what our department's about. So get in contact. I can get you a good contact with our PIO. See all the good community outreach we do.
Well, you do
Community-
Terry stops. So that's,
Okay.
as
well,
soon
all
as
right.
you do Terry stops, you lose me.
Maybe we agree to disagree on some stuff, but there are some good things we're doing in the community. And I
Like
see
what?
these.
You now have thousands of people who are going to watch this. What are the good things you're doing in the community?
Just, have you been out with the deputies on a ride out to see just the community interaction?
No.
I would encourage you to do that. Because, like I said before, sometimes you just see the bad on the TV.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, between hot calls to hot calls, there are deputies out there just having normal conversations like me and you,
Yeah.
making an impact.
Yeah. Last week when I was driving down from, I was up north and I was coming down from NorCal. When I came down, I pulled over because there was a cop with a homeless guy, and he was actually picking the guy up and giving him a ride. And so the people who subscribed to the channel, we all went to his police department page in his email, and we all sent him an accommodation. Lots of people called the police department and said, hey, this cop is out here helping people. So, as much as I don't respect the idea of one guy with a chunk of metal on his chest and a gun, I still want to create change through a positive interaction. I want to create that. And I think that once 10 cops here are put in torture cuffs and then they're put in that little slot when the heat's up high or it's down cold, I think pretty soon what will happen is change. But first I need 10 cops to go in cuffs and have their wrists get mangled. My cousin Tawny, her wrist hurt for 3 days. For 3 days after I put her in cuffs. I'm just grabbing my water here just so you don't think I'm reaching inside my pocket here. I don't want them to think I'm reaching because I'm some sort of psycho. I play like a nice guy and then I pull out my gun and shoot
So
him.
here, let me give you my card. Can you do me a favor and email me?
Yeah, Yeah.
Actually, I ran out. Let me grab you one real quick.
go ahead.
So email me, that way I have your email address, and I'll try
Okay.
to get you in contact with one of our PIOs.
Yeah.
And then kind of help you guide through this process that you want to go down.
I was supposed to take off today, but I'll stay in town one more day if I can get,
Well, so our headquarters is San Bernardino, about 35 minutes
Yeah,
down.
I'll drive over there.
So if you're going to be local, let me get you a card,
Yeah.
and we'll get in contact.
Thanks, appreciate it. I mean, so far, pretty stellar, guys, so far, pretty stellar. And, they had a complaint form ready to go. They had a complaint form that I could take with me. She did ask me for my name, but at the same time, she did not demand my name. I told her that her blue flag was a terroristic symbol that terrorized people, and she didn't give me any sort of pushback. And this gentleman here has been nothing but respectful. So, it's just the bad stuff that really ruins it, where people get hurt, they get beat up, they get abused, and so that's what we're talking about. But I really want to get this 10-minute handcuff challenge, and what I would do is I would set up a donation system where you can only donate $10. I don't want anybody to put in more than $10. Because things are tough all over. No one has money. So if everybody puts in $10 and we get 1,000 people, we get $10,000. I'll gladly donate to them, and they'll donate to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah. So my email's on there?
I'm not going to show you guys this card because I don't want you guys to inundate them with
Please don't.
emails. I won't do that to you.
But email me your information.
Mr. Salisbury,
I'll either get them in contact with you.
you're a
or-
coroner as well?
Well, the sheriff office.
Oh,
and
it says here, John. That's the sheriff's name is John McMahon.
the prior sheriff, yes.
Oh, so this is a different, and here's Mr. Salisbury on here. You're the sergeant here,
Yes,
and
sir.
police officer, 16 years. And there's your phone number, and there is at the bottom your email address. Great,
What
great.
was your name again?
My name's Chille. My channel's called DeleteLawZ.
DeleteLawZ?
I always identify myself, just so you know. A lot of people they don't want to identify. No, dude, no. I'm running for governor, so 100%. I will tell you who I am, what my name is, what my channel is. I'm not hiding myself, dude. I'm 100% for transparency. If I want you to be transparent, then I need to be transparent. If I want you to be able to film, then I need to be able to film. You see, we're entering the digital era where I believe, and you guys can vote on this, I believe 90% of people, if you had a body cam on right there and you said, hey, sir, you're being detained, which is a bullshit term from Terry versus Ohio, but if we won't, until we get rid of Terry versus Ohio, if you had a body cam on and you said, hey, you're being detained, do you agree to be detained or do I need to physically detain you? And I said, I agree to be detained. I look in the camera and I say, I agree to be detained because I want to, answer any questions. And then from there, I believe that 90% of people, and don't get me wrong, drunk jerks who are beating their wives, we need cops to go in there and protect the victim. I'm 100% for. I'm for law and order, dude.
I never said you weren't.
I'm for having a policing system that's based on education and values and security, not dominate, control. And I'm going to stop you because I'm suspicious of you. And that's the last question I'll ask you, and then I'll get out of here. I know you got other stuff to do. You looked at your watch. So, do you think Terry versus Ohio is constitutional? Do you think that a cop should be able to walk up to me and say, I'm suspicious of you, and then detain me?
That's up for discussion.
I'm here now to have it.
Okay.
Do you think that's a good thing, that you should be able to put me in cuffs and hurt me because you're suspicious of me?
Well, now you're adding some.
Okay, do you
extras.
think that handcuffs are normal? Do you think you should be able to detain me when based just on suspicion?
On reasonable suspicion?
RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion. I'm walking down the road at 3 in the morning in Victorville, and not very many people are out at 3 in the morning, and I'm walking down a neighborhood, and you just decide that that's suspicious. Someone called in, and there was a robbery in a house yesterday.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If you were a victim of a crime, or
My house was robbed.
Maybe not even you.
My house was robbed.
A loved one or a good friend.
In that neighborhood.
Right.
Some
And
guy's
then
walking down the street the next day.
Somebody's walking down the street right after matching the description.
Mm-hmm.
Should we stop that person?
You can walk up and talk to him all you want. If he wants to keep walking, let him walk. And then follow him all the way home.
Okay.
Listen, we're entering into a surveillance state. If we don't embrace it before you guys do, it's going to be horrifically bad. If we continue with the police state, prison state, then what will happen is you guys will use surveillance to then use Terry, and it'll be worse. Whereas if we take away Terry and you just have body cams and some guy's walking down the street and you get a call that there was a break-in, look, go up to the guy. Take a look at him. See if he has anything bulging in his shirt or jacket, And then if he robs someplace, get a picture of his face. Dude, we're going. You guys use facial recognition?
I think we have some type. I'm not sure the capabilities. But I
So,
think so.
facial recognition is already being used. We have to embrace the surveillance state before it's used against us. So you think that you should be able to put me in cuffs though, based on suspicion?
On reasonable suspicion?
Right.
In certain situations, yes.
Like what kind of?
Like that situation I just explained. If there was a home invasion robbery or a stabbing and somebody mentioned
Violence.
description,
If there's a violent call for someone who's committed violence and
Correct.
actually done the violence, then there should be a detainment process.
and there's other crimes other than crimes against persons.
But you'd be for overturning Terry?
No.
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 You want to be able to investigate people based on suspicion.
Yes.
And do you guys use predictive computer policing here?
No.
But you do use facial recognition.
I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think there are some, but I'm not sure
Right.
about.
And what about
capabilities.
stingrays? Do you guys use stingrays?
I'm not sure what a stingray.
That's where you
is.
can go and put a tower and you can check people's phones from that tower.
I don't think we have that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, dude.
All right, sir. It's
Okay,
very nice meeting
thank you so much. I'll take this complaint form and take my water. Thank you so much. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad.
Don't forget to email me. That way we
I will
can
email you.
get you a contact.
I'm going to go and email you right now because I have to get to Texas, but I want to do this. And if you guys are a small department and your main office is over in San Bernardino, we could probably get this done.
Okay.
And then your name goes on it, dude. Matter of fact, I'll give you all the
I
credit.
don't need my name on it.
Thanks for your time. Later. So there it is, folks. Not too bad. He didn't do too bad, did he? I mean, you know, these guys, you know, there's always the good cop thing. I talked about that when we were talking about Geppert over there at the Arizona Highway Patrol. They always have this good cop thing. And so there's always a good cop who, even as you're being tortured and hurt, they'll feel for you. Oh man, I'm really sorry this is happening to you, you know, and they're the one on top of you. You know, I'm really sorry this is happening to you, as they hurt you. And then even after you're in cuffs and taken to the dungeon, they'll be like, oh man, I'm really sorry this is happening to you. Really sorry this is happening to you. So if you guys want to learn more, please go by my website, DeleteLawZ. Consider picking up my ebook or my poster or that trifold that you put in your car. So that's how you guys can support what I'm doing as I go over to Texas to file my lawsuits. And I think I'm going to sue, I think, I'm not going to say it because I don't, but I kind of changed the order of the lawsuits that I'm going to do. So I kind of changed the orders of the lawsuits. I kind of did because, and I also added a person to the lawsuits. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And I'm supposed to leave tonight, head back over to Arizona to in person file my appeal for that traffic ticket. But the thing is that I really want to get this handcuff challenge done. I really want to get this handcuff challenge done. That's what I was going to sue Talib first, but the truth is I might sue different people first. Matter of fact, I know I'm going to, because Talib didn't owe me a duty as though the other people did. The other people who I'm suing owed me a duty. And that's in tort law. You guys can look that up. Remember, I'm not, as you guys saw from my court, which I didn't do a very good job on, you know, I'm not an expert in court procedure. I've never been an attorney. So, and all the people who are watching my channel, I don't have any degrees. I haven't been to law school. I was simply no-knock rated. In 2002, I've never stopped studying. Never stopped. I've never stopped learning. I read cases today. Today, I learned cases. So I never stop. I have to know absolutely everything about the law. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So tort law, so in criminal law is the state of California versus DeCastro or Arizona versus DeCastro. Tort law is DeCastro versus Johnson, DeCastro versus Ellis, DeCastro versus Quilly, DeCastro versus Scott, the people that I'm suing. And so that's what tort law is. The difference between criminal law and tort law is it's a personal thing you're doing. I'm suing you as a person, so there's no state involved. There's no state involved. So I don't think that the handcuff challenge is going to happen here. I think they're going to duck. It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. It's a pretty normal thing. They tend to duck, or they tend to pass the buck. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have that. That's outside of my pay grade, right? So, you guys, and by the way, if you guys want me to see any videos, you can't send me an email and say, you got to check out this guy's channel. I don't know what video you're talking about. And I don't have time to go and look and search and watch a bunch of stuff. You know, last night I actually had a pretty good time last night watching, whose channel was I on last night? I was on someone's channel last night for like 3 hours as I was doing busy work. But I literally watched his channel for 3 hours. It was, who was that gentleman that I watched last night? Chuck Bronson. I watched Chuck Bronson's channel last night for 3 hours. So yeah, yep. So again, make sure that everybody here, let me move some stuff around here. Make sure that everybody here, you should have one of these in your car. You guys should have a trifold in your car. Whether I give it to you for free and you print it out yourself, or you get the indestructible paper, you should have one of these in your car. You know, I have the right to remain silent. You should, yeah, I watched Chuck Bronson's channel last night for 3 hours. I even threw him $10 for gas money because he drove around for so long and I'm not rich. But I just threw in, because it's about crowdfunding. It really is. You know, I used to do the cup of coffee thing, and now I sell products. I sell educational material for you. That's what I do now. But I used to just teach a class for an hour or 2 hours on TikTok, and then I would say, hey, do me a favor, buy me a cup of coffee. And I'll say the same thing here, buy me a cup of coffee, thanks a lot. Because if 245 people buy me a cup of coffee, $2 each, that's $500. And then when I'm driving to Texas and that when I leave California and my tank costs $90 to fill up, makes it easier. That's why I threw $10 into Chuck last night, and I was in Chuck's stream and I said, anybody in Chuck's stream right now, if anybody here donates $2 to Chuck, I will send you a free digital poster, a free digital ebook, a free digital trifold, because the hard copy stuff costs money, but I can definitely give these trifolds away for free digitally. If anybody wants a digital trifold and you don't have the $15, I'll give it to you for nothing. Just email me. And I sent off, geez, I probably sent off 100 free trifold last night, at least. Because that's what I was doing when I was listening to Chuck Bronson's live stream. I just was sitting there sending off trifolds, just sending off trifolds, because everybody's hearing about the trifold now. So I'm just sending it off. Because listen, some people don't have $15, especially people on fixed income. COVID just hit. Everybody's broke. You know, it is what it is, dude. It is what it is. We have a economy set up for only the top 1 or 3%. And they have extra money and they have extra pairs of pants and they go skiing and they go to Aspen and they travel to Nantucket and they're doing these wonderful things that I get to see on social media. They're going and renting a house to do a photo shoot, which, by the way, I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but if I wanted to be an influencer on social media, I could be a fitness influencer. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to walk around with my shirt off and, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. Matter of fact, as soon as social media hit, I had been a fitness model in LA for 10 years. I was on the covers of a bunch of magazines, and when Instagram first hit, I was still ripped up big time. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want that to be me. Just like in MMA, I fought world champions. I didn't want to fight in a cage for money. It's just not what I wanted to do. I love being able to defend myself. I love knowing the things that I know, but I didn't want to do it. You know, I did monetize my channel, but it doesn't make very much money because we're not that big of a channel. We got to get to 100,000 subs. We got to get to 100,000 subs, meaning that I need the folks here, get your friend to subscribe to this channel. We have to get to 100,000 subscriptions. We absolutely have to get to 100,000 subscriptions. That's the goal right now. And I started off with that. ASD Docs is in the house, you guys. One of my favorite investigative journalists is here right now. ASD Docs, dude, I'm such a fan of yours. Andre Doesn't Drink used to be the name of his channel. Andre, I'm such a huge fan of your channel, and I appreciate everything you've done with me and for me as I've began to build this YouTube channel. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Andre, for being you, man. And, you know, I was going to sue Jolly Ginger in Virginia. I still may, but I think Jolly's coming first. I think Jolly gets sued first. Oh, I let the cat out of the bag. I think Jolly gets sued first because he's the easiest to prove. He literally created the definition of defamation. He did the step-by-step levels of defamation. And sadly, it looks like I'm going to have to sue that woman whose son died. It's really sad, but I'm going to sue her too, because you can't allow people to defame you. You can't allow it. I'm going to run for governor of California. I'm going to run for governor of California because it's a very powerful state, and I love California. So I don't even look at so many things that people look at, because I have to buy gas and I have to buy food. And I was raised fairly poor, so I don't look at the price of gas. I don't look at the price of food. I look at the final tally on the gas pump and I go, shoot, $90? Holy smokes. And, you know, I'll tell you what, when I was doing TikTok, just so you know, from my perspective, and I could be incorrect about the data, I'm just telling you from my perspective, TikTok is mostly a urban app. That's the best way to say it. And so when I did the cup of coffee fund on TikTok, I would get, 1,000, 2,000 people in the room on TikTok without having to go to police stations or libraries. The culture on TikTok is about learning and education. So the people on TikTok really love to learn. And the videos I put out now on YouTube that are learning and showing you guys the history of time, 1,000 views, 2,000 views. The live I do for the promo of the video coming out about education has more views than the video packed full of education. So I just feel like this is a different medium, and I feel like also I need to spread information to people is what I need to do. I need to spread knowledge that people can carry along with them. I'm suing a mother whose son died. She's just defaming me, and she's She's just so you know, and I'll just, you know, she created this. I don't know if she created it or where she got it, but just so you guys know, I don't have a criminal record. It doesn't exist. I've never been charged with assault. I've never been arrested for assault, ever. I've never been arrested for battery. I've never been charged with battery. I've never been arrested for breaking probation, because I've never been on probation that I would break. I took a diversion program in 2002 to beat the 5 felony charges. That's the only time in my life I've been on a probationary period, which again, Robert Shapiro was my lawyer and said, Chille, this is the best we're gonna get without going to a jury. And if the jury finds you guilty, you're gonna do a year in prison. And Shapiro was like, take the deal, dude. It's a year and a half of your life. And so we got to get to 100,000 subs, and maybe I should bring back the Cup of Coffee Fund. Maybe I should do that, because I'm not going to stop under any circumstances. And since I'm running for governor, unless I want to take money from special interests, I'm not going to take it. It won't happen. Even the handcuff challenge, when we get 10 cops to finally agree to do the handcuff challenge, no one's going to be able to put into the fund more than $10. That means we got to get 1,000 people to put $10 into the fund that we're going to give away to the Boys and Girls Club of America or to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America. And I have no problem donating to those people. I absolutely would love to support that group. So you know, it just sucks. It just sucks that this is our economy and that this is our culture. And there's some things that just really are difficult to accept. And what'd you guys think of the debate last night, by the way? What'd you guys think of the debate last night? I don't know if any of you guys saw the debate last night, but I watched it back a little bit because I was doing that busy work where I was sending off free trifolds to people last night. I mean, I thought those guys got killed. That's what I thought. I thought those guys got stomped on that debate. I thought they got stomped. And, you know, I think the reason why I haven't done the Cup of Coffee Fund here on YouTube is because I want people to get the educational information. I want people to get the ebook and the poster and the trifold. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want you guys to learn. I want the public to learn. I want people to go, no, dude, no, you have a Fifth Amendment right not to talk. If the cops say, I smell marijuana, that's the Commonwealth versus Barr from 2021. You should be able to quote this case off the top of your head. You should be able to quote this case off the top of your head. You should be able to tell people, Commonwealth versus Barr, 2021, out of the state of Pennsylvania, Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. So that's what should happen. You know, you guys should know this information. You know what's funny is I thought those guys got smoked. I thought those guys got smoked. Did you guys think they got smoked? I thought that and by the way, so now do you guys see now why I've had, and by the way, you know, we're just meeting, some of us are just meeting, but I've been doing this since June 20th. Now do you see why I tell people I'm a constitutional law scholar? Because they brought on a PhD and they brought on a lawyer and I schooled them. I took them to school. And it's funny because I'm just a regular old meathead, to be honest. And by the way, some people who hate me will take little clips of when I say I'm just a regular meathead and they'll go, yeah, look, see, he admitted he's a meathead. Yeah, I'm just a regular old dummy who just studied and studied and studied after I was cheated by police. But I was nicer to that cop, right? I was a little nicer to that cop. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Arizona tomorrow and make sure that my appeal's filed. I'm gonna go in person. Hopefully I can get there before 5 o'clock tomorrow to make sure that that appeal is filed. And then I'm going to, from there, head over to Texas and file my first lawsuits for civil litigation. That's what I'm gonna do. And just so you know, I think that Jolly is the lowest hanging fruit. I really do, because he owed me a duty. We have text messages and voicemails back and forth before he decided he was going to be some social justice warrior and try to call me out. But the guy's so dull when it comes to understanding how the law works. How the setup, now I don't know procedural laws, you guys saw from that court case, right? I did a very bad job. You don't agree with the judge. Joe took me to school and X Factor took me to school. I'll post it. I got a 2-hour long conversation with Joe and Joe took me to school. He sat me down and we watched every frame of that live court case and I just didn't do a very good job. I just didn't do a very good job and I admit it. Also on Team Skeptic, I had made a mistake. The FBI didn't start in 1924. The beginning of the tenure of J. Edgar Hoover started in 1924. The FBI started in 1908, but then it kicked up a notch when Prohibition, when the police were so involved in the alcohol game. And just so you know, over on Team Skeptics page, when someone said, no, you're incorrect, the FBI started in 1908, I said, no, you're incorrect. And then I researched the data, and then I went back and I said, you're right. I was wrong. Why is it so hard to admit you're wrong? Why is it so hard to say you're sorry? If you're wrong, say you're wrong. If you made a mistake and you did something wrong, say you're sorry. And I don't understand this. You know, I lost a very close friend in 2020 because he wouldn't apologize. This is a friend of mine for 17 years in LA. And because he wouldn't apologize, I haven't spoken to him in over a year and a half. It was 2020, I would say around May or so, and a friend came to me and really insulted me. He insulted me. And I said, dude, you're so wrong right now. You need to apologize. And then he said he would apologize, then he didn't. I will never speak to the guy again until he apologizes. So, you know, when I'm incorrect, I'm incorrect. I was incorrect about the FBI starting in 1924. That's when J. Edgar Hoover was put at the helm of the FBI, and he was the head of the FBI for almost 50 years until 1974 or 1972. I can't remember the exact number. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. No, I said the other day I was on a live and I thought some guy was a cop, and I said, yeah, don't talk to me, cop. And he was actually a rabid follower and supporter of what I do. And so I put in community, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying that about you. I apologize. Why is it so hard to say you're sorry? I don't understand that. When you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Say you're sorry. Just say you're sorry, especially if you're hurting another person's feelings, because your feelings matter. What are we seeing with the school shooters? The school shooters are people who've been abused and cheated and treated bad, and no one ever loved them and said they were sorry or said they feel bad that they were treated poorly. And so I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to contribute in that way to society. I want to be able to admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about the FBI. Sorry, I was wrong. I apologize. I didn't mean to spread misinformation. I'm openly correcting my error. And so FBI 1908. That's right, Work Lion. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. So anyway, listen, I've got to pack up. I got to get out of Victorville. I got to pack up and get out of here. Either I leave tomorrow morning after I go down to San Bernardino. I'm going to go to San Bernardino Police Department in the morning. So you guys hit the number 1 button. Let me know where you're from. Try to get the comments up. Hit the like button. 100,000 subs. 100,000 subs. You can tell everybody. Chille's trying to get to 100,000 subs. Yes, I am, because now I understand how important this channel is, how important it is growing the channel. And we've been stuck here at 27,000 for so long. Let's grow. And by the way, I didn't know that. Someone told me that yesterday. Someone said to me, oh man, you've been at 27,000 subs now for 3 or 4 days. And I said to him on the phone, I don't know how many subs I have, because I didn't until he pointed it out. And so because this isn't the most important thing, but it is. But it is the most important thing. I mean, look at ASD Docs. That guy is flying. ASD Docs just went over 100,000 subs. ASD Docs is flying. And so we got to get to 100,000 subs, meaning I need you to call a friend, send the channel over. I need you guys to do those things. You know, that's what I need. I need you guys to share this channel. We got to get to 100. I'm from Alaska, brother. I'm from the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska. I was raised on the Kenai my whole life. We got to get to 100,000 subscribers. That's what has to happen. 100,000 subs. This channel should jump in subs. We have to get to 100,000 subs. That has to happen. I'm actually in a driveway here. I got to get out of the way. I'm in the driveway of a business. I just am getting blinded by the sun. Blinded by the light. Wrapped up like a douche in the middle of the night. That's the song. That's the way I sung it when I was a kid. I know those are the wrong lyrics, but that's the way I sung it when I was a little kid because I really liked it. And we were talking last night on Chuck Bronson's feed, which, by the way, if you guys are not subscribed to Chuck Bronson drove around last night for 3 hours auditing police. 3 hours he sat in his car, driving from place to place. Chuck Bronson, I'm a huge fan of yours, dude. Chuck Bronson and you guys remember Chuck Bronson, the original, the TV star, the movie star Chuck Bronson? That was the beginning of glorifying police as though they're all heroes. All cops are heroes, from Chuck Bronson and Chuck Norris. I remember Chuck Norris being part of the Texas Rangers, and then he did a show called Walker, Texas Ranger, for like 15 years or something. But Chuck Norris was so celebrated as being a hero. He was such a hero. Chuck, I love you, buddy. I love Chuck Norris. I remember, doing my kicks when I was a little kid because Chuck Norris was doing kicks. And what do we find out? You pick a guy up and slam him on his head, you can kick all you want, bro. I'm going to throw you on the ground, And then there's another YouTuber who told me he was and I'm not going to say his name, but another YouTuber who told me he was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he told me he's going to twist me into a pretzel. And I said, first you got to get past my ground and pound, brother. First you got to get past me hitting you or throwing you on the ground really hard. And by the way, you guys, just so you know, last night when that triggered guy came on and I said to him, you're a beta male and I could beat you up, right? Just so you know, I don't want to fight anybody. But when people come on and they're triggered and they're calling names, that's your opportunity to irritate them. I don't know how to pronounce the name, Shinzu, The Art of War. If you read Shinzu, The Art of War, what it tells you is that when someone comes at you sideways, go at them sideways and see what happens. Especially when you're not really triggered. When that guy came on, he was triggered last night. I was like, well, let me just tell him I could beat his ass and then let's see how he responds. And then he was even more triggered. I got him. I don't want to fight him, dude. I don't want to fight anybody. I would beat up Jolly Ginger in a cage if he agreed. I would beat up I Speak 1906 if he wanted to get into a cage. I'd beat up those two guys in a cage because they're worth it. They're worth me being injured for a little while so I could stomp them. But it would have to be in a sanctioned legal arena where everybody signed a waiver, a referee, where we have gloves. It's SHIH, by the way. It's Shinzu, is SHIH, and then TZU, The Art of War. That's what it's called. And I read that book when I was 15, 16 years old. So amazing book. And I learned a lot. I learned how to really get under people's skin from reading The Art of War. And I also learned that you fight the fight until the fight is won. And then I heard that in The Untouchables a few years later. And I was like, someone said, DeleteLawZ. Dude, I drop kicked a funny video of you and kick going back and forth. Right on, dude. Send that to me, brother. Send that to me. I'd like to read it. I'd like to watch it. See, I'm so used to reading. But X Factor sent me a couple Supreme Court cases today. But because I don't know them inside and out, I don't want to talk about it yet. But I read them today. So yeah. So listen, 100,000 subs. We got to get to 100,000 subs. Meaning that the 250 people here, I need you guys to all recruit one friend today and say, please go subscribe to DeleteLawZ. We got to get to 100,000 subs. And I'm going to do this across the country as I travel across the country. I'm supposed to... My Aunt Artie wants me out. She's like, you got to leave. My Aunt Artie here in Victorville, she's like, get out. She's like, get out. She wants me to go. And it's not a negative thing. She just is the general. She's the boss, and she wants to be the boss of her house. And I get it. I don't know if I'll get out of here tonight or not, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to get out of here. Yeah, I'm going to head over to the San Bernardino Police Department in the morning. I'm going to try to get over there. Which by the way, let's give the guy credit. The guy who came in and he was a triggered beta male. He calmed down, didn't he? He did calm down. Kick was his name. I don't know any of their, I don't know. I didn't know. The only name I remember was Tony. And then what was funny about Tony? Tony, when we actually started to talk and he stopped calling me a mendocious liar, whatever what he was saying, right? Tony and I agreed on almost 90%, right? Tony and I agreed on most things. He started off, though, with calling me names and insulting me. And then Tony ended up agreeing with me on most stuff. It's like when you judge somebody, there's a very famous saying, and I say it to people all the time. You can't love somebody while you're busy judging them. And so when I look at someone even like a homeless person or someone who looks reasonable, articulable suspicion that they look suspect to me, and I'm like, I want to lock my doors because I don't want to have to deal with this person. I always say in my brain when I look at someone and I'm judging them, I think to myself, why are you being so judgmental? People judge you all the time. And I hear that saying in my head all the time. While you're busy judging someone, you can't love them. And so then I try to switch it in my head. Stop hating him, unlock your door, and love that person for a moment. Have a little compassion for that person for a moment. And that's what I do all the time. I do it all the time. I just try to make sure that I'm not what I don't want. I want to make sure that I am not what I hate. what I loathe, what I find to be reprehensible. You know, funny what you can accomplish when you calm down. Kick was trying hard to play smarty pants. Yeah, I mean, did you guys think that the PhD or the lawyer, did you guys think they had any more information than me? And I'm, you know, I'm the previous MMA training partner. I'm the previous jiu-jitsu partner. I'm the previous jock meathead. And you guys can take a little clip of it and say, look, he says he's a meathead. Go ahead. But did you guys believe that they had any more information than me, or they had any better grip on how we got here? Because I thought when I watched it back that they got absolutely schooled. That's what I thought. I thought that, man, they got smoked. That's what I thought. Okay. So anyway, I thought I stomped them too. I really did. So we're at an hour. You guys, listen, do me a favor. If you don't have my Trifold, my digital poster, my digital ebook, the hard copy poster, the hard copy Trifold, then go to my website, pick it up. If you can't afford it or you don't have any money, dude, I'll give it to you for free. You don't got to explain a bunch of stuff to me. Just send me a one-line, hey, can I get that free digital Trifold? Yes. I won't even answer yes. I'll just send you the digital Trifold so you can print it out. If you say, hey, I want to copy that poster, you don't have to tell me you don't have any money. You don't have to explain your situation to me. I've had $0 before. Zero. I've had friends and family have to feed me. When I was called a racist in October, all that money from people giving me $2 for a cup of coffee. I had a cup of coffee fund where I'd teach on my poster, and at the end of my hour lecture, I would say, here's my Venmo, CashApp, and PayPal. Will you please buy me a cup of coffee? All that money went away. And I just bought this van, and I didn't have a dime. My friend from Alaska, Molly, she sent me $500. J&S over in Ohio paid my car note, $400. Like, people literally gave me money. So don't judge someone because they don't have any money. You have no idea what they're going through. You have no idea. And, you know, I was in Washington. I think I was in Washington, D.C. a few years ago in 2014. And I was taking a look at the mall, and I walked by this guy, and he was sitting on the side of the, oh, you got your shirt today, Work Lion, or you got your poster? So I walked by this guy, and he was sitting at on the district mall in DC, and he looked like a normal guy. He looked like a totally normal guy. He looked like me, sitting on the side of the road with the sign that said, please help. So I sat down next to him. I literally sat on the ground next to him, and I said, hey man, what's up, dude? You look like a perfectly good guy. And he just started to bare his soul. And he said, I'm a veteran. And I said, okay, what's going on? And he said, look, he said, I can get a job. It'll last a day or two, maybe a week. He said, but then what happens is my PTSD kicks in. I don't show up for work, or I get wasted. And then the people who liked me and respected me, now they all hate me. And I've done this 50 times. And I gave him some money because, and he looked just like me. He looked just like me. He had the short hair, and his clothes were pretty clean, and he had his boots out there, and he was like, Chille, and he didn't say my name, but he said, I just can't put it together. He said, I wish I could, but I can't. So don't judge somebody. And I'm not judging you is what I'm trying to say. If you say, hey man, I want that Trifold or that digital poster, the digital ebook, you don't got to explain anything to me, dude. Nothing. Not a word. It's yours, no problem. Guys like Work Lion come in and put $50 up and say, hey, here's $50, Chille, give away some of those digital Trifolds. So I just do. You know, people like Molly, people like J&S, they come in and they're like, hey, let me help you out. And dude, kindness begets kindness. You know, another guy on here, I don't know his username. I don't want to say his first name. I don't know what he wants from me. He did send me his PayPal, and he was raising some money to move out of his place in the Northwest. And you know, I sent him $20. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not rich, but I sent him $20 because he needed it. So that's what it is. Anyway. So anyway, I've been on for an hour. I got to go to Home Depot, and I got to get, I'm trading out my totes. If you notice, I took all my stuff out. I'm going to get my totes traded out, and I'm going to downsize a little bit so I can travel. And so that's what I'm doing today. And my aunt already wants me out of her house, but I don't know if it's going to happen today. It might happen tomorrow when I go to, and I'm going to go by San Bernardino. I'm going to email that gentleman from the Victorville Sheriff's Department. I'm going to see if we can get the HandCuff challenge going. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get the HandCuff challenge going. I was born in 1974, so that's how old I am. I was born in 1974. That's my age. You guys, listen, I can't lie about anything. I'm running for governor. Everything I've ever done is going to come out. However, what I'm seeing today from a friend, he sent me the information, there's people making things up about me. Just creating documents and going, look, Chille had an assault charge in 2003. No, I didn't. I've never been charged with assault. Chille broke probation in San Antonio, Texas. No, I didn't. I've never been to San Antonio, Texas. I mean, it was like, I'm 47. So it was like, you know, I've been doxxed, by the way. All my information's been doxxed by radicals, by crazy people. I don't want to put them in a political category. So I can't hide anything. I'm running for governor. I can't hide anything. You're going to find out everything about me. So I just have to be totally transparent. You know, and then some other troll said, you know, you never fought him. Dude, what do you, dude? It's just, yeah, people are crazy. People are crazy. People are nuts. And then you guys remember, because I am who I am, I'm this natural lightning rod. A lot of people want to cut me down or attack me because then if I pay attention to them, then they get attention. So I don't even pay attention to those trolls anymore. I just stay super focused. Anyway, I've been on for over 70 minutes. Thanks for sticking with me, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really, I mean it a lot. It really means a lot to me that so many people are attaching to overturning Terry and to making the Supreme Court electable, getting checks and balances on police. It means a lot to me. I've been thinking about these things for years, how to change these things. So I'm really grateful. Thank you. And we got to get to 100,000 subs. So share this. Tell people you've got to subscribe. We need 100,000 subs. I'm going to say it every day until we get to 100,000. And then I'm going to say we got to get to 200,000 and then 300,000 because we have to be able to crowdfund because I won't take a single dime from the fossil fuel industry, from the special interest groups. I won't take a dime, not a dime. You have my solid promise today, March 8th, 2022. I will never take a dime from a special interest group, not a single solitary dime, because then they own you. So thanks for your support. Nothing but love for you guys. I appreciate it. And I will check in with you guys on the next one. All right. We'll see you in San Bernardino tomorrow morning. I'll set the stream in advance and I'll just head right over there in the morning before I drive off to Arizona. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gator.